Hello and welcome. This is actually an update to some posts that I've been putting out there about the RFID receptors or microchips inside your debit and credit cards. I've been reading a lot about this lately and I've seen a lot of disturbing things. So what I did, and you can see, to disable the chip itself, I took a nail set and a hammer and I punctured through the chip. It should be disabled. Correct. I've used this card at several places within the last day. Not a problem that don't have the RFID reader. So I wanted to see what would happen. I had to make my truck payment. So I went to Wells Fargo, who owns the loan to my truck. Thankfully, I'm almost done with them. But when I went to make the payment, tried to slide the card through, it kept telling me that there was an RFID reader connected to this card. And I had talked to several tellers. They brought a bunch of people around. They're like, I don't understand this, because you put it in the machine, it still says we need the RFID reader chip. And I had told them prior that I had disabled the chip. And this is the words I used, so I just didn't freak them out. Was that I disabled it. And then when they had put it in the machine themselves, and it was still, they had the look of confusion that was amazing. It was just, what? And I told them, I said, I took the card back and I said, I told you, I disabled the chip. Can you see that? And they all took it and passed it around, and so I started asking them. Next they told me, they're like, well, we can't process this payment. And I said, so what you're telling me, even though the chip in this card is disabled, but the strip still works everywhere else, you cannot accept my payment. This got them all nervous, because if they would have said, by law, if they say we do not accept your payment, the rest of your debt is clear. That's by law. Look it up. If an institution, a business, things of that nature, they will refuse a payment, you do not owe them a dime anymore. And these banks know that. So they couldn't say, we refuse. So I asked them, you can't override the system. You can't use a swipe. You can't punch this in manually. And they're like, no, we got the new RFIDs. Like, if it's got a chip, then we have to use it. Our systems will not let us enter things manual anymore. If it doesn't have a chip, if it's an old non-chip card, then the swipe will still work. But if it has a chip, then no, we don't have an option. And I said, it doesn't have a chip. It has a hole. It doesn't have a chip anymore. It has a hole. Well, this went round and round and round and round and round. And the more I kept asking, the more they just started ignoring and refusing to answer any questions. Just had these dumbfounded looks on their damn faces and didn't know what to say. So I said, all right. Because they started telling me I had to leave the bank and go get cash and then come back. And I said, no, that's not an option. If I leave, you're denying the payment. If I can't make this payment with trusted funds that work anywhere, I'm not leaving without making this payment, or I'm never making another payment again. They had nothing to say. They were just confused and dumbfounded and didn't know what to tell me. So I finally offered, I was like, do you have an in-house online access that I can make a payment on. Because just like Amazon, I can type the damn number in and pay for anything anywhere. Oh yeah, we've got a representative over here, go over here, yada yada yada, sitting at the desk, all that. Only way that it would access to where I can make a payment on their account is if I gave them my bank account and routing number. Could not use the debit card number. And I even said to the lady, I was like, I buy shit all the time on Amazon. You telling me a bank's website can't function as well as Amazon.com? Nothing. Silence. Just nothing but silence and confusion out of these people. So, on the way home, I had figured, alright, based upon the CT diagram and all of that, the answer is, my hole's not big enough. And instead of like puncturing, because you can see the size of the hole on the size of the chip on the back, it's really not that much bigger than the hole I made, but that's really conspicuous just to have a big giant hole in the middle of your card when you hand it to people. This can be hidden, can't be hidden, sleight of hand, no one knows. The whole section missing, people are going to notice, and they're probably not going to accept your card at like restaurants or bars or anything you actually have human interaction with. They probably won't take your card anymore. So, I have an idea. Whether it works or not, I wanted to go ahead and get it on video. Apparently, to this diagram I have, give you an idea of what the hell we're looking at here. Alright, that big box is that gold thing. You flip it over, you see right above where the P and pulse, there's no information that's necessary. It's hidden, it's white, and it crosses the break line of two of the antenna arrays, one going out, one going in, and they're pretty damn close to the edge of this thing. Like, I don't know how good my phone video is, but they're right about here. So my idea that I'm going to try is I'm going to do a score mark line right above from where the edge of the P is over to the edge. And I'm going to keep going down, hopefully until I see some wires, break some wires, like, yeah, that was already out. Alright. And then I am going to go on an adventure, and that'll be on a different video, but I'm going to try it again because I don't want to really cut the whole edge off the card. I still want it to resemble and look like a regular debit card. I mean, I know it's hard to see, but it's very small slit, and I'm a good way through if you look. But I can't pull it apart really without breaking it to see if I've actually made it through the wires or not. Take a couple more passes just to be sure. Well, I think I went through the other side on that one. Yep, I did. Okay, I've made it through the other side. So you see where that crack is? But the card still looks intact. It's deeper than I wanted it, and it'll probably break off. I'll just get a new card once I figure out how it works and do this again. But I should have split through the antenna wires, and so I'm going to go to a store that I know has an RFID reader, and I'm going to try to buy something from this grocery store. And I'm going to take my camera with me so we can see what happens. Wish us all good luck. This right here is the beginning of taking back what little freedoms we still have left. You know the next step, people. It's already in the fucking news in Canada and Wisconsin. Rice-sized RFID readers implanted into the skin. Talk to y'all later.